This is a bookable summary of the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert T. Kiyosaki. We're taught many things at school, but money making and business entrepreneurship is often strangely left out of the teacher's syllabus. The old mantra of getting your head down and studying hard to get a good job seems more outdated by the second. We live in a world that values enterprise and thinking outside the box, but school teaches relatively little about how to succeed when it comes to making money. The only information available on how to earn millions is kept secret from millions. This information is passed down in rich families from generation to generation. However, this information is actually accessible to all, and lifestyle guru Robert T. Kiyosaki has 9 tips for getting rich and staying rich. Tips that the richest people in our society don't want you to know. Number 1. Being rich is a mindset. Robert T. Kiyosaki suggests that having the mentality of a rich person is key to a successful and affluent life. These mindsets are cultivated from a young age. Kiyosaki gives the example of himself as a young boy, who upon asking his father how one became rich, was told to go to school, study, and find a good job. This is the advice that most people are given as a recipe for success. However, Kiyosaki argues that abiding by this mantra will only keep you above the poverty line. In the author's example, he says that the young version of himself instead sought advice from a rich father of a friend of his called Mike. Mike's father would offer his services to a young Robert in exchange for his labour, priced at a measly rate of 10 cents an hour. After becoming frustrated with the pay and offered no advice by Mike's dad, the young Robert returns to Mike's father and says he's going to quit, enraged by his treatment. Little did the young Robert know, but this was Mike's dad's strategy all along. To teach a young Robert that great wealth is not earned by cheap labour and work-hard mindset. Wealth, rather, is maintained. Kiyosaki says that working for money does not make you rich. So, how does one get rich? Number 2. Educate yourself, identify assets, and invest. Robert T. Kiyosaki says that the rich become rich by making money work for them. When we think of rich people, we think of a lifestyle of luxury that accompanies it. To a certain extent, this is true. However, if rich people spent all their money on lavishly expensive goods, they would have no money left. Instead, rich people are smart with their money. Once rich people have made enough money, and it doesn't need to be millions of dollars, they invest this money in assets. However, what sets rich and successful people apart is that they are smart in what assets they invest in. This requires a lot of research and educating oneself in finances and stocks. Kiyosaki also says that what sets rich and poor people apart is that poor people invest in and purchase liabilities. Rich people, however, identify and invest intelligently in assets so that these assets bring in enough money to provide for them and often leave them with enough to invest again. Number 3. Make money for yourself, not someone else. Buying and investing in assets sounds easy enough, but you can't just magic up a fortune to invest overnight. Getting rich is a lot easier though, if you are not wasting time lining the pockets of someone else. Many of the world's richest individuals are self-made for a reason. And that is because they took a risk and started their own business instead of wasting years working on behalf of someone else. Of course, you can make money working for a corporation, but nothing compared with what you can make for yourself working for yourself. Robert T. Kiyosaki identifies that there is a difference between your profession and your business. Your profession pays the bills, but your business is a platform on which you'll be making money. Many people who are now rich worked professionally, but built their businesses tirelessly in what little time they had to spare. A business doesn't even need to be a company. A business is a money-making enterprise that can be invested in. A portfolio of smart investments is as much of a business as running your own paper merchant. Number 4. Understand how tax works. For centuries, rich people have stayed on the right side of tax. Taxation doesn't have to work against you if you are smart and know the system. According to Robert T. Kiyosaki, rich people shelter themselves from tax through corporations. Kiyosaki says that for centuries it has been the middle classes who have shouldered the burden of taxation. The rich, on the other hand, use smart ways to play the system in their favour. Using a corporation as a front limits the risk involved on an individual. Kiyosaki says that if a corporation fails and can't repay its creditors, then the only thing that happens is that the owners lose their investment. The rich have always worked smartly within the law by understanding the tax code and legal system, and stay one step ahead of the game as a result. Number 5. Real financial education is hard to come by. We alluded earlier to the popular mantra that working hard in school will lead to a successful and affluent life when you're older. However, this is not true. School is heavily weighted to more academic subjects, but there are very few classes in any school which is dedicated to the art of making money. Robert T. Kiyosaki says that children aren't taught about subjects like saving or investing, and as a consequence are clueless about topics like compound interest. This might be tongue-in-cheek, but the sentiment is true. People don't learn about money while they grow up from conventional education. This is probably why so many rich people are self-made. In order to learn about finance, you need to take the initiative and learn about it yourself. Once you have educated yourself, you can set about mastering a competent financial strategy. Number 6. Assess the markets, set financial goals, and build financial intelligence. Robert T. Kiyosaki has 3 surefire ways to get rich at any point in your life. He says that to get rich, you must first appraise your finances, second, set yourself some goals, and third, acquire the education necessary to reach them. Sounds simple, right? Well, that's because it is. The first step requires a bit of honest self-appraisal. Looking at your current finances will help you know how you should proceed and how cautiously. Kiyosaki argues that this step requires total honesty. Secondly, you must set realistic financial goals both in the short, mid, and long term. Aiming high is crucial, but you have to be realistic about what you can achieve. Rome wasn't built in a day. And finally, build financial intelligence. This step is crucial to becoming rich. No one who has ever come into money stays rich for long without financial intelligence. You can build financial intelligence by identifying your weaknesses and learning valuable skills to improve your acumen. Number 7. Be courageous. We've all heard the phrase, money doesn't grow on trees. And it's true. You can't magic money out of the ether. If you could, we would all be rich. The simple fact of the matter is, rich people are risk takers. Yes, they make calculated risks, but they are not people who are filled with dread and fear. Rich people aren't robots. They experience fear like everyone else. But according to Robert T. Kiyosaki, they have learned to conquer their fears. Kiyosaki says that being fearless is part of being financially intelligent, and rich people can invent money out of hypothetical scenarios. No one can predict the future with a huge degree of accuracy, but rich people make a decent stab at it, and most of the time, it pays off. Number 8. Don't play safe, invest. When digging deeper into what Robert T. Kiyosaki calls the notion of risk, he outlines how rich people take calculated risks and reap the financial benefits. When anyone looks at investing in the stock market, they are taking a risk of sorts. Investing in the stock market is riskier than letting your money sit in a bank account, but if you're smart about it, you can make money off the money you invest. Kiyosaki says that if investing in the stock market isn't appealing enough, then there are alternative ways to make money, but they're risky too. Investing in real estate can pay off in the long term, as well as so-called tax lien certificates, which have much higher interest rates than average savings account. The higher the potential of return, the higher the risk, says Kiyosaki. But you won't find a rich person who hasn't stayed rich by taking risks. Number 9. Working to learn is better than working to earn. Working to earn and get rich is a thing of the past in modern society. Sure, you can pay your way, afford groceries, and pay off the mortgage, but you won't make millions of dollars, and if you do, it will take you a long time to get there. However, that is not to say you shouldn't work at all. Instead, having a different attitude to working will help develop skills to put into practice when making money through your own business. Robert T. Kiyosaki says that knowing a little about a lot is important for anyone who wants to make money. Working different jobs, however low paid they may be, might have massive rewards in the long term, as long as they're teaching you skills you can put into practice. Even joining the Marine Corps might not make you millions of dollars, but it will teach you valuable life skills such as resilience and leadership. Everything has value if it leads to something. What's your most important key takeaway? Please comment down below and share the video if you like it. Check out these other 2 videos. Thank you, and until next time.